Today we're going to make pizza dough with everything you see here. It's going to be a very simple and painless recipe with all of these ingredients here. Oil, yeast, salt, sugar, flour, and water. You'll be amazed at the results. So the first thing we need to do is mix the sugar in the water. And again, I have my trusty temperature meter. We want the water at about 100 degrees for the yeast to activate, which is good. And we need a tablespoon of sugar. So we've got one. We're going to do this twice to make 1 tablespoon. We're going to mix it. And then we're going to throw in the yeast. Looks kind of weird, which is normal. I'm using bread machine yeast. I'm guessing you don't want that quick rise stuff because we're going to punch this down. We're going to do 2 rise when we do this one. Let's try to get all that out of there. Then we're going to let the yeast sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, and we're going to check back. So for this next part, we're going to mix a teaspoon of salt into the flour. And I have 2.5 cups of flour here and 1/2 cup here just for extra. And we're going to mix the salt, try to get it as evenly as we can, or as best we can, or whatever. Just turn your flour a few times to get the salt in there. And we're just going to wait for the yeast to get all foamy, the water and yeast mixture, and then we're going to dump that in there. So now that the yeast is activated, you can see all the foam there. We're going to just get rid of some of that foam. I'm going to throw in some of the olive oil, 1 tablespoon. And mix it. And then we're going to dump it into the flour. Yeah, and then we're going to mix it again. And then dump it on the counter. But for that, I need both hands. So I need to switch over for a sec. So there we dump it out, and I'm going to start kneading, and I'm going to add the flour into the mixture. And I just keep a little extra water handy just in case you need to add it, depending on different humidity levels in your house and all that sort of stuff. You might need to add a bit of water, or you might not need to add any water at all, and maybe just add a little, not use all the flour in the extra cup here that we have, the extra 1/2 cup. So we're gonna knead it for about 8 minutes, and you will see what it looks like. So the kneading is done. I didn't use all of the flour. I did dip my hands in briefly just to add a little bit more. And now what you need to do, put your clump of dough in a bowl that is pre-greased. Just coat it with paper towel drenched in olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever oil you prefer. Coat the insides, and we're going to cover it and let it rise. And we'll check back in 90 minutes. There's the dough after an hour and a half. It's risen a little bit. We're gonna just punch it down and then give it another 30 minutes. There you have it. It's been punched down, and I don't know if you can tell, but I did cut a little bit, a couple of holes in the top of the wrap to let some of the humidity escape. Kind of needs to breathe a little bit. You can't really see it that well, but they're there. There they are. Right there, a couple of holes. Anyway, we're gonna give this half an hour, and then we're going to roll the crust, or throw the crust, or whatever, twirl it. For the cheese, I like to use 500 grams of mozzarella, just plain mozzarella. And I prefer to shred it on my own because that stuff that's already pre-shredded, if you didn't know, has some type of spray coating on it, so the shreds don't stick to one another. So you should research that, and you'll see they spray it with some weird Teflon stuff. So if you shred your own cheese, it's much healthier for you. So there we have it. It's risen again, and I keep the flour out to put on my hands so it doesn't stick to the dough. And now we're just going to take it out and start making it round on a pan. So what we have here is enough for I believe it's a 15-inch pizza pan, and I'll show you in a sec. So this is the pan it's going to go on, and there's the dough like I showed. And all you do is push in the middle and then just start twirling it out. And see if I can demonstrate here. Hold on. Or if you wanna cheat like me, just use a rolling pin. There you have it. Obviously, I'm no pro. I guess with practice, it'll get better and more round. One thing I forgot to mention is set your oven to 425 degrees. And we're going to be cooking it for about 18 minutes. So, sauce. I don't actually have pizza sauce, so I'm using some leftover pasta sauce. Marinara is always good. Just dump it in the middle. Use a spoon to just spread it all around from the center out. Next, we're going to throw a layer of cheese on it, and then we're going to put some pepperoni on it. This is Parmesan encrusted pepperoni. Costco sells it. It's pretty good. It's one of my favorites, actually. And we're going to put it on top, and I've actually got some ground beef with a little extra protein that's going to go on the pizza as well. Here you go. We got ground beef, pre-cooked, and we're going to put on the Parmesan encrusted pepperonis or salamis. So that's the final product before it's going in the oven. And remember, we're going to do 425, 18 minutes, convection on the highest or the second highest rack in your oven. So just like that, in your oven, 18 minutes. Moment of truth, after 18 minutes, that's our final product. Let's see. Let's bring it over to cool down. Not too shabby. almost restaurant quality.
See?
There it is. Now we just slice right into it. And what's good about this recipe for dough is that it's like I said, restaurant quality. It's nice and chewy and still a little bit crunchy. Okay, let's see if this is kid approved. Let's go for it. Probably a little bit hot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Good.
It's good? Would you eat it again? What would you give it out of a 10? What about the pizza rolls from yesterday?
A 9.
9? I'll take it. One of the things I forgot to mention was the fold test of the dough. When you take your pizza and you fold the slice in half, that's how most people eat it. That's how I eat it. That's what this dough looks like with the fold test. But it's obviously too good. And I didn't leave much left to show for the fold test. Hope you enjoyed my video. There'll be more cooking videos to come as COVID progresses, I guess.